Hey everyone. Prior to getting my whole floor area completed on the passenger side, I saw this hole near the vent area that needed a fabricated piece of metal, and I just thought I'd show you the process I went through to complete this task.
So this is the piece that's going to go inside the car before I put in my torque box and my floor. This is the sidewall that goes right to the side of the car. Anyway, it has that little indent for the vent that comes over that. Of course, this is what's going to cover, so it's technically going to be in there like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the metal that's part of that it's part of the recess where that vent goes, and first we're going to put an initial kink, and then we got to kind of flatten it out, and that way it'll look very natural, as if it was right from the car itself. So what I do, as you can see, just stick a little bit in at a time with a vise. And whether you work from this side or you work from this side, you just get a little bit in there. All right. This is regular metal fabrication. Just get a little in at a time and continue working the entire area. Put your initial kink in, right? All the way around. Okay. And will it be perfect? No, but you don't see it anyway. But it'll look pretty good if you ever get in there. And it'll just kind of work with what's already there. Very natural. Now, what we have to do with this kink, now we have to pull the rest back so it's kind of sitting back a little from the piece of metal here, but this will be sitting so it's kind of back almost an 1/8 inch. So now, how do we do that? Go in the opposite way. And now sort of, we gotta sort of manhandle it. Is this working? Kind of get a recess there. You see what I'm getting at? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this all the way around and come back. And you kind of see this recess, so you kind of got to just, and again, you can buy the equipment that does this. Maybe you'll make some sort of template that you can bang on to make it work, but this is what I'm doing. And if you don't have the kind of, if you don't know where to get the part you need or the equipment you need, do it by hand. And again, this is a piece you don't see, but you can see that little recess there. And I'm going to take it into the car and take a look at it and see where we are. So, I'm getting a little closer with this piece of metal. You can see the kink here. But you got to get it definitive. You got to have a nice score here. It's got to get deep there and come out. And we're going to try and see if we can flip this flange here a little bit, just to kind of go with the flange that's on the car. What I was doing was to make it a little better of a turn. I'm not sure how to put it, but make it a little sharper as far as what's happening. Get in here behind it, and you bang into the steel on your vise, and just keep going around a little at a time. This is kind of gives it a more definitive kink on that initial kink. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to look good? I think so. But, this is all just part of the fun of trying to make some of the stuff that you can't really find. And that's what's happening here. I can't find this piece that I could replace what's going on. Now maybe somebody on YouTube world can say, oh, it's right here. And nothing wrong with going and buying it. Part of my whole thing is trying to fabricate pieces here to make this, give me as much experience with the metal as I possibly can. Maybe this isn't the best thing to do here, but it'll get you out of a bind somewhere else. So now you sort of see this definitive line, and you're going to see it mocked up against the car. I use like a little chisel here, and I just kind of, again, I get it into the vise, somewhere where there's metal. There's metal behind it over here, and I just kind of bang that corner. And going to stick this in there now, fit it, and this is where the vent comes. We're just replacing this piece of metal, and next we're going to try and I'm going to take a pair of vice grips, and that's part of what this was. I took vice grips and kind of got in and got a little tighter and tighter and tighter. You got to do it a little at a time and come back. And we'll do the same thing here, because there's a little lip inside the metal. That way you don't have this rough edge, and then we'll just sort of take a grind wheel and just smooth this out and buff it with the brush, and we should be good. Here you can see, it gets this little edge here. Take your vice grip. I have a little line. You can't see it, but there's a little line in there. It's about an 1/8 inch. Just go around a little at a time. Bend it 90. Little at a time. Bend it 90. You hit your turns. Just kind of work it as best you can. Again. Bend the whole thing down to 90. Now you have the smooth edge. And while aesthetically it doesn't look perfect, you can sort of soften it up a little. Hit the kinks where it's hard. Just sort of mesh it together. Okay? And really, for the most part, we got our piece here. And this is going to work nicely. We're going to end up drilling a hole for when we put in the vent. Put the vent back in. A little spot. And we'll be good to go. So that's it. Just a little fabrication lesson here. I hope you appreciate it. If you don't, that's fine. So, here we go. There's the piece of metal. This is the hole it's going to be covering. I'm going to cut some more of this out and put this on top. And we should be good. Again, there's that lip I was talking about there. You see? Just bend that in. It matches the lip that's here. You can see it. A rounded area. And just weld this in. And then you put your vent in. See? You have to play with this area right here to just sort of make it contour a little to what's going on there. Looks pretty good up top, I think. And you're good. That's it. So we carefully cut out all the bad metal that was there, as you recall earlier. Now, I just show you a dry fit. We pop this in, and again, we're following a nice line. I'm going to drill a hole here for the vent, and we're in. Let's bring this nice and tight up here when we weld it. Get around the perimeter and clean that up here a little bit. You know, get it ready for the metal to be done. That's it. It's that simple. You really just get enough tack welding in there, clean up all your rust spots, throw some paint on it so it stops the rusting moving forward, and you're good.